5 years old, family outings meant the Singapore River. And I still remember how it used to smell. Strong, like fish, oil, and something else. I cannot name it. I tried to, but I couldn't. But it was really alive and moving. Yeah, maybe. And all the bumboats chugging along, ferrying goods from big ships in the harbour to the warehouses lining the quays. And the men lived on those bumboats. Their lives were tied to the river, eating, bathing, even relieving themselves. And I don't think it was strange, it was just how it was. And I remember it that way. And years later in primary school, our walk shifted toward Elizabeth Walk. It was more open, breezier, and oh, the Satay Club.
Yes.
I remember that one well. That was always the highlight whenever we went to Elizabeth Walk to end up at the Satay Club. And the Satay Club in those days was where the hawkers balanced baskets and a barbecue pit on one side, and the sauces on the other side. And they had their makeshift grill, fiery grill, and selling the satay. It was delicious. I remember eating satay with, well, not the spicy peanut sauce, but the pineapple sauce. Yeah. As a kid, that was what I ate. The smoke from the charcoal mingled with the river breeze was savory, sweet, unforgettable. And by the time I was in secondary school in the 1980s, things had already begun to change. I would meet Dad after his work near the river, because he worked around there, and we would eat at a hawker centre built right over the river. I don't remember what it was called, but it was right. Yeah, close to that bridge. Yeah. But it was the hawker centre over the river. No longer there. And fewer bumboats would pass by. By then, the river smelt less fishy. The water, once crowded with life and labour, now moved more slowly, more silently. Then one day, the bumboats disappeared. No longer carrying goods, just tourists, and that was from 1983 onwards, because the government cleaned the river. The river smelled fresher, cleaner, but emptier too. The hawker centre disappeared, so did Satay Club, and even the Malayan moved. Elizabeth Walk, with its stone fences and square windows like that, looked, well, different now, no longer there. We stopped going there as a family probably because I had grown up, and also because the river had grown into something else, something shinier, something quieter and curated for tourists. It became a river of memories for others too. Not too long ago, a lady I met in the hospice told me how she arrived in Singapore in the 60s with a businessman husband, and how the river was part of her early days. Another man who used to be on one of those bumboats used to dive off the bumboats for a swim. Yet another senior citizen worked in those go-downs where the air was thick with spice, with sweat, with urgency. Today, the river welcomes cameras, cruise boats, more than cargo. And I hardly go there anymore. Why? Because like the river, I have changed. We've traded our busy tides with quieter ripples. And just as the river remembers what it once carried, so do I. Every now and then, when I walk there, and normally it's to bring friends to tour the area my memory stirs, the scent, the sound, the ghost of smoke from satay grills. And for a moment, I feel like I'm 5 again, watching the bumboats chuck by, hand in hand with my family, and the river alive.